So talk a little bit about this water because I saw a video where you guys, you kind of hand dug this trench and you found this source of this fantabulous spring that's on the property. And I'm imagining that a distillery, much like a brewery, really depends a lot on the quality of water. Talk a little bit about your water system here.
Okay, well, the water comes well, at the time it came out of a hole in the ground. It was about 4 inches in diameter.
Wow.
It fed into the biggest mud hole you've ever seen. It was about 9 feet deep of mud that I know of because I stepped into it and went all the way to my neck.
Oh my lands.
You couldn't get anywhere within 30 feet of this water. So you couldn't walk to it. You couldn't crawl to it. It didn't matter. You sunk. So I and my kids basically started digging a trench through basically a rim of clay that was holding all this water in until we got down far enough to where we could actually drain out the water and drain it enough to solidify the ground to where we could actually walk on it.
Mm.
That took us about a year. It was about a six foot trench dug by hand through the nastiest muck you've ever seen.
Wow. I can only imagine. So, did you, kind of placing the timeline here, did you know that this source of water was going to be the backbone of MannCave Distillery at the time, or were you just trying?
Yes, I did. At that time, I did. Before that, I did not. It was just, I knew the water was there. I always wanted to do something with it. But once we started developing it, once we had equipment in there and we dug it out, we found the caves, or the coal mines. There's two coal mines. The first one, when we cracked it open, it flooded the valley.
Like seriously flooded the.
Yeah, you're talking about 300-foot long, I guess you'd say essentially a 5-foot diameter pipe letting loose of all of its water all at once. So we found that one and we got it cleaned out. And then I was digging a trench down the side of the mountain to kind of dry out the area a little bit more. And I hit a second one.
Mm.
And the second one is about 5 foot in diameter, but it branches off in like 10 or 15 locations, and it goes into the mountain about 500 feet. And I have been to the back of both of them. I found an old pickaxe in the back of the second mine. The other one was quite empty. And they have had timber rails where they had donkeys pulling carts. And there was also old canvas covered air lines up through the mine.
Wow.
It was pretty interesting.
Oh my gosh. You had no idea that was there. What it was it wasn't a gold mine, but it was a veritable coal mine, but it was a gold mine in a sense.
Yeah, it was. The water is awesome.
Yeah.
Water comes out of the mine at about 6.8 pH. It's got a little bit of iron in it, but other than that, the water is perfect. I couldn't ask for better water.
Wow, that's incredible. And what in terms of distilling spirits, is that, I mean, how much water is involved with that?
Well, our typical run takes about 300 gallons of water and 600 pounds of ground corn. So, and we do almost a run a day. So it's not a terrible amount of water for that. But when we look at, we use our water also for cooling the still, and that's where we really run into water usage. We use upwards of 5,000 to 6,000 gallons a day.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you for that backstory. I think that's awesome.